Suits. Meghan Markle walks down the aisle in sneak peek of season finale as Rachel Zane gets married ahead of star's real-life wedding to Prince Harry next month. Meghan Markle was finally seen walking down the aisle to say "I do" on Wednesday, but just on her television show Suits. In real life, the 36-year-old actress has been sparking massive excitement for royal watchers as she prepares to marry Prince Harry on May 19 in St. George's Chapel, in Windsor Castle. But her on-screen character Rachel Zane has beat her to it. A teaser for next week's season finale showed a glimpse of the wedding day that fans of the show have waited 7 seasons to see. The nuptials will air during a 2-part season finale before Meghan leaves the USA Network show for life as a royal. "We should do this," Rachel's fiancé Mike Ross, Patrick J. Adams, said at the start of the teaser, leaving Rachel with tears in her eyes as she smiles. "This is so exciting." Mike was then seen waiting at the front of the aisle with his best man, boss Harvey Specter, Gabriel mocked, who asked, "Hey, you ready for this?" "I am," Mike smiled confidently, as guests, including Rachel's father, were seen waiting in pews, with Rachel heard saying, "I can't believe it, this could really happen." Rachel was then shown hand in hand with Mike at the front of the church, with Mike telling her, "I've wanted to marry you from the second I met you. You are the husband I've always wanted," she told him, with him telling her, "I love you, and always will." Meghan looked stunning in a princess gown for her on-screen nuptials, with a sleeveless bodice flowing down into a full lace skirt. Her hair was left loose and swept back off her face while she was flanked by her bridesmaid in a simple black dress. Meanwhile, the setting for the evening wedding looked magical, with lanterns strung across the room and cascading pink flowers draping the windows along with fairy-like decorated trees. Further romance was promised, too, in the wedding teaser, with the sight of her other boss, Pierce Inspector Lit partner Louis Litt, Rick Hoffman, in attendance with ex-fiancée Sheila Saz, Rachel Harris. Sheila ended the latest episode leaving her current fiancé to return to Louis and try to start a family with him, with the wedding teaser suggesting they stay together. In the latest episode titled "Pulling the Goalie" before the teaser, Rachel had played hardball to beat a sleazy real estate mogul who was trying to evict Pierce Inspector Lit after tricking her best friend Donna Paulson, Sarah Rafferty. Donna initially thought mogul David Fox, who bragged about how many high-rises he owns in Manhattan, was merely heating on her before he handed her papers demanding a massive increase in their security deposit. She thought that was just a plot to get her alone in his office, too, until he handed her 90 days notice to get out of their office, with him telling her, "I saw the new girl on the block promoted to a job she's never done before and took advantage." Donna instantly went running to Rachel, the only colleague she could trust, begging her to write up a lawsuit that sends the son of a B who owns this building to prison for the rest of his miserable life. When Rachel insisted she tell company owners Harvey and Louis, Donna finally let on how she had kissed former flame Harvey before he decided to keep her on at the firm and also ended his engagement to his former therapist Paula Agard, Christina Cole. "I feel terrible because Harvey and Paula aren't together anymore," Donna pleaded, with Rachel saying, "And there's no way you're going to be responsible for that and the firm losing its home." Rachel pulled an all-nighter to draw up a lawsuit, only for Donna to realize she had been tricked again when she handed it to the mogul who pretended to have filed a lawsuit first, tripping her over with a loophole in their lease. Donna again ran to Rachel, pleading that Harvey chose me over his fiancée, pleading, "It was only a few days ago and I can't be responsible for losing the only home that this firm has ever had." "I understand all of that, but if you let your guilt keep you from giving him a chance to fix this thing before it's too late, he's gonna wish you took the job," she stressed. She agreed to pull another all-nighter to help her friend, and save the firm, with both women confidently striding into their landlord's office the next day. "Oh, she's not just my friend. She's my lawyer," Donna said proudly of Rachel, who told the mogul, "She finally figured out what makes a man like Hudick." After they said he gets off on being able to tell every woman you meet that you own the best buildings in the city with the best views, Rachel smiled as she said, "If you can't say that, then people might notice that you're really just an insecure little man who builds buildings to cover up his weaknesses. We now control the air rights across 6 of your most prominent properties. So instead of those unobstructed views of the park, Your top floor tenants will now be looking out at a 40-foot-high box of tampons. They got him to agree to a 10% haircut on our lease as well as reimbursing them the cost of air rights, with both women smiling at each other as they strolled out of his office. I'd call you a name right now but I'm guessing you'd sue me, the mogul said, with Donna echoing his own words to her earlier by replying, I don't really care what you'd call me right now because like you said, this isn't personal. It's just business. Elsewhere, Mike was surprised when the judge in his fraud case came and begged him for help after getting accused of overturning a verdict for personal gain, finally getting Harvey on board to help free her after she revealed the authorities had tried to wiretap them, which would have seen them both in jail, not just Mike. Louis, meanwhile, spent the episode battling Sheila's new fiancé Xander after deciding to end his affair, seemingly finding victory after finding a lawsuit to beat him, ending with his clients having to pay up $50 million as well as write on the settlement that Louis was the better lawyer. You can bury it in the fine print if you want. You can put it in Latin. But it's going in, and you're always gonna know it's in there, Louis told him. But Sheila came to his office to beg him to drop the lawsuit, telling him, you won. You beat him and he knows it. Please do this for me. He agreed, and was shocked when she was waiting for him outside his house later, telling him, I left Xander. I realized he's not the one for me. I love you. I may have forgotten it for a while but in these last 2 weeks you've excited me, you've gone to battle for me, and then you sacrificed for me. When Louis reminded her of their issues of not agreeing on having children, she told him she threw away my diaphragm, which he called pulling the goalie, with her telling him, fate brought us together, why don't we let fate decide whether or not we have children? Harvey and Donna also ended the episode alone in an office having a drink together, hinting at further romance despite Harvey insisting he did not want to be with anyone. Suits was renewed in January by the USA Network for an 8th season without series regulars Meghan and Patrick,